everybody, I'm Mike.
And I'm still Mike.
And welcome back to the channel.
Last week we discussed one of our favorite 12-string models, the Fender Electric 12. This week we're going to dive into its kit-bashed cousin, the Fender Maverick.
An anomaly of the CBS Fender lineup, the Maverick was actually made up of repurposed Fender 12 components and then rushed to market without input from professional musicians like we see with most of Fender's Golden Age instruments.
If the Maverick was Frankenstein's monster, then Virgilio Babe Simoni was the mad scientist himself. Hired by Leo Fender's right-hand man, George Fullerton, in May of 1953, Babe Simoni was only a teenager when he was hired, and his first job was sanding bodies prior to finishing. Babe's father actually worked at Fender in 1952 in the cabinet shop, crafting the enclosures for Fender's amps before suffering a stroke. Babe's father's hiring and relationship with George Fullerton paved the way for Babe Simoni. According to Babe, he didn't properly meet Leo Fender until 8 months on the job, and when he did know who he was. He almost ran Leo over with a hand truck and then proceeded to have a spicy exchange with the man himself. Babe rose through the ranks and eventually became the stringed instruments product manager, staying on with Fender after CBS's acquisition and enjoying a 20-year tenure at the company. He eventually followed Leo Fender to Music Man and enjoyed a career that lasted well into the 1980s. One of the shortest-lived and most storied models of the late 60s, the Maverick, which was also sold under the custom banner, was produced in particularly small quantities, with only 600 to 800 made between 1969 and 71. At the behest of parent company CBS, Babe Simoni was tasked with finding a use for overstock, unsold Fender Electric 12 bodies and necks. And the Maverick was the inspired result of this cost-cutting request. Fender used a bandsaw to reshape the bass side body horn of the Electric 12, while also creating a distinctive point on the lower bout. The long hockey stick Fender Electric 12 headstocks were often veneered front and back to hide the extra holes for the 12-string design, while the vibrato and bridge assembly of the Maverick were ripped directly from Fender's Mustang model. The Electric 12 has a string-through body design, yet the Maverick was a top loader as it used Fender's Mustang bridge. If Fender were to use a traditional sunburst finish on the back of the guitar, it would reveal their factory trickery in patching the hole for the string-through plate for the Electric 12. Instead, they finished these guitars with a solid black on the back and a sunburst finish on the front, a feature unique to the Maverick model. Despite its humble origins, the Maverick model was a midline platform release for Fender, selling at the relatively lofty figure of $289.50, roughly $2,200 adjusted for inflation. This was the same price point as the Telecaster Custom, the Precision Bass, and the Hardtail Stratocaster. And given the unique headstock length and need for proper break angle for the strings behind the nut, the Maverick retained the singular string tree of the Electric 12 model. True to form, Bill the Butcher Babe Simoni's other historical contribution to Fender in 1969, the brother to the Maverick model, was the Swinger. Similarly crafted from overstock bandsawed Bass 5 bodies and Music Master necks, this Simoni special didn't even make it into the Fender catalog, instead sold directly to dealers. While Fender's Maverick model was never destined for fame in this reality, it did achieve a second life in a parallel universe, where it was recently reissued as the Maverick Dorado.
Hey everybody, it's your old pal Too Tight Mike here, beaming in from the future with an important update. Not to the video you're watching actually, but to other videos you may have seen from other channels on the Fender Maverick. Now the thing that I'm here to contest is, well, it has to do with the switch positions on this guitar. You may have heard from other channels about some ghostly apparitional switch positions that simply do not exist on the model, including each pickup out of phase with itself. That is not a feature of the stock wiring. In fact, it's impossible with the stock wiring. Let's run through these pickup positions together. First, the neck position. Both pickups in parallel. The bridge on its own. And both pickups out of phase. And just in case you don't believe me, I've got my old friend, the tuning fork, here to back me up. Neck. Both in parallel. I'm really slamming the hell out of Mike's amp. Sorry, Mike. Bridge. And out of phase. Which you can't really prove with the tuning fork, but I can once again show you. Now you know exactly what the switch on a vintage Fender Maverick is actually doing.
We're thrilled to have this Maverick here at the Guitar Bar, one of Fender's most unique flirtations with frugality.
For more information on the Maverick and everything else we have for sale, please visit mmguitarbar.com and stay tuned for more videos.
That's just nasty, man.